Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. Ready to give you our best recommendations for all the shows, films, etc. released on streaming. And of course, at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out next week so you too can create your very own watch list, ready to give his recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. It says Senor Jaime K. Chewy, who's eagerly anticipating his Comic-Con visit in a couple of days. What's going on?
Non-recommendation.
Comic-Con's a non-recommendation. The only one going to Comic-Con is Chewy.
Pass.
And maybe a couple of the WGA, with signs on striking with the Actors Guild. I don't know. We all lose in this scenario, guys. But let's not focus on that. We're going to focus on the shows that are currently running because that might be all we get for a little bit anyway. But yeah, let's get into it. It's funny. I did see something, Chewy. I don't know if you saw this, a quick little tidbit here, that HBO Max has now become the third biggest streaming service, or whatever, surpassing Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because it has Warrior in it. Because Warrior is shown on Max and on Disney. It's that easy, guys.
Who's number two?
Two is actually Netflix. Surprisingly enough.
Who's one?
This surprised me, but if you think about it, it makes sense, and that's Amazon Prime.
They're the number one streaming service?
That's the number one by about 1%, so it's very close. But remember, with Amazon Prime, people get it for the shipping, but that's included. It doesn't.
But just based on subscribers or based on actual usage? That's my question.
Subscribers.
Okay.
Right, which is why I say
they can throw in every Prime membership into that. It's a little.
Right. Yeah. It's a little misleading, of course. Like I said, it's surprising when we think about it.
It's a lot misleading.
It's misleading. But if you really think about it, it makes sense as number one because it's counting just subscribers.
Yes,
watching,
not actual people who actually watch.
Correct,
but whatever.
Correct. But Netflix was even that withstanding. It was only 1% behind.
So put an asterisk there. But yeah,
it's an asterisk.
It's going up to number 3 or number 2, whatever.
Yeah, Netflix is 2, technically speaking, and then it's HBO followed by Disney's losing out subscribers.
Yeah, and
you don't put good product. That's what happened. And let's be honest. Let's just call it what it is. Let's
good original content. And we had a discussion before this all started that it's not about what movies and catalogs you have. It's about what original content and good content
right.
you put out there. Not just the Jeff Goldblum Experience shows or these other ones. Now they've had some nice surprises, right? But it's few and far between.
No, exactly.
Mandalorian we expected. The American Boy Chinese was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it.
I heard as a kid, it's never give it a shot, but whatever.
Well, you didn't give it a shot. I did. I actually enjoyed it.
I heard good things.
Yeah. It's been fairly popular. So that was a nice surprise. But we get stuff like. The National Treasure spinoff. That was because that had so much potential, and they just flushed it.
Yeah, it was not.
The Willow was
terrible. Which they already pulled or about to pull from streaming entirely.
Yes,
you can't even go back and watch it if you had any interest. Not that you should watch it.
A lot of great ideas, just very poorly executed. It sounds like Captain Kennedy was in charge.
Well, you can blame everyone has a hand in the cooking jar apparently. But they lost us. But either way, again, HBO's got Warrior. Come on, that's all you need to know. So show you everyone should be watching again Warrior and HBO Max. But yeah, so I think. After that, I want to say
more whiskey, more skinny, dude.
That's what. Exactly. God, I forgot. I had the list and I lost it. Apple was like 7th.
That's a little low. I think it's surprising because they put out great content, probably more so consistently than HBO. Disney for sure. Netflix,
maybe
it's close.
You can make the argument.
It's close.
You can make the argument.
Yes.
As far as pound for pound, they don't have the quantity, of course. And I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't have the quantity. I don't know. But it's 7, so that's surprising.
Every few weeks they're putting out something original. There's a lot of overlap. A lot of their shows we told them, hey, slow down.
No. I agree, but I don't know. Maybe it's just people don't think of it like that. I have no idea. it's. I'm not sure, but I think Paramount was right below HBO Max. I'm sorry, below Disney.
Yeah,
and then maybe. Oh no, I'm sorry. Take it back. I think it was Disney and then Hulu, then Paramount Plus, and then Apple Plus. That was the list.
Okay.
Paramount doesn't surprise me. But Paramount, to its credit, has been better over the last year and a half. To its credit, and they put on big stuff on there.
Yes,
So
I mean Tyler Sheridan has been a gold mine for them.
right, exactly. The things that,
With Yellowstone, and then there's obviously spinoffs. We had the one Rabbit Hole, which is very good. Mayor of Easttown, which is great.
right, and they've had
Um,
Tulsa King did very well for them.
oh yeah,
Um,
and they also then obviously they also put in Champions League soccer
right.
on there,
they
which
good
is a big
variation.
draw.
Yeah,
They have some live sports,
yeah.
which brings in some viewers for them
Yeah, a lot of Star
beyond
Trek stuff
beyond
and
the
all
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that so I guess I'm kind of, I mean, whatever, it is IP, whether it's popular or not. But it's that surprise. Apple Plus being sound was kind of a surprise, um, to some degree. But yeah, so either way, so that's interesting. But yeah, Amazon Prime obviously is number one for other reasons. But I found that was interesting because we kind of live off these streaming services. But that being said, let's start with Apple Plus. It might be last on the list, not last, it's seven. It's still ahead of Peacock because Peacock wasn't on the list that I saw.
Oh
Um,
God, they don't deserve to
Not
be
a
on the list.
surprise, or MGM, which we know five people watch it, including Chewy. But
Yeah.
but all that being said, let's finish out with the show just ended Apple Plus. I'm kind of curious to get your thoughts. The show you both liked, not love, but liked, and that's Platonic. With Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, of course, comedy, a kind of a anti rom com, right? It's being built that, and as far as these two, both, well, Rogen's getting divorced, Rose Byrne's married, but she's in that kind of that rut with three kids, not working, etc. They had a history of friendship, and they kind of broke it off for a while, reunited, and every time they're together, it's all hell breaks loose apparently with them. And people, particularly husband, can't understand that the dynamic because we all know women and guys, as is known, can't be friends or whatever. That's the whole thing, right? But yeah, and then there's 10 episodes running through. Your thoughts on this, and was it a worth watch after seeing it all on Apple?
It was enjoyable. It had its moments. It's funny. Seth Rogen is a funny individual, and he's got good chemistry with Rose Byrne. They kind of work together, whether it's as together or as not together. It's this instance, his example is. So it was definitely enjoyable. It was funny. I'm still thinking about some of the funny moments that Seth Rogen in that show.
It has some good moments.
Daboo,
It has some good moments.
daboosh.
Yeah, it's got some good moments. It really does. And like I said, that's my only concern, and it did resist the urge for this to turn into a rom
Yes,
com. Like,
no,
oh, they're gonna get together in the end, and
no, they did not,
did not.
and I'm glad. This is their own separate lives,
Yes, he stuck
and
to
they
his
just happen
guns.
to intersect with the unique relationship, friendship that they have or had for a number of years.
Right.
And but it
Yeah, it
was
was
a fun
entertaining.
watch.
Yeah,
Honestly,
exactly.
it
I
was
guess, yeah, it's
entertaining.
not the talk comedy by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, it's not shrinking. It's not, Ted Lasso, obviously,
Oh hell
clearly.
no!
But it's funny. I like that. I was entertained. It's 30-minute episodes, and they got really good chemistry. Burner and this guy do. The show's just a little bit unrealistic in terms of the shenanigans they get involved in. But whatever, it's not a huge deal.
Well, the
You know,
dry hump.
I mean, the one scene with the raccoon and stuff, it was funny, but it was like, oh, okay, whatever. But whatever, it's a comedy, right? It's not a big deal.
Yes.
But that's what really prevents this from really you latching on to as you would a Shrinking and Ted Lasso for the most part, right? But good show. I definitely recommend that again on Apple Plus. Let's help Apple Plus get up to the top five. Apple needs to be top five. It needs to be top five. Come on, guys. Great service, by the way. But let's start with the films. I know you probably didn't watch this, and I can't blame you. That's Box Barcelona. Support a somewhat Latino brother, and kind of, I guess. We do like some foreign stuff. The original Bird Box was a huge hit for Netflix. I think 4 or 5 years ago with Sandra Bullock. Obviously the basic premise that some apocalyptic situation, and there's this entities or whatever roaming through the world, and if you look at them, it causes you to commit suicide. So you have to run around with cover your eyes to live, to thrive, and then whatever society is remaining and all that. Trying your Bullock protecting your kids, she's trying to be safe. This one now focuses more, obviously in Barcelona, but now kind of focuses not on a victim per se, but someone who is actually able to see what these entity is and what it causes him to do, and a group of people who are affected by it. The first Board Box alluded to a little bit. I got a guy too who was not affected by looking at them directly. They kind of really lean on that, so you get that perspective. So do something a little bit different. It's fine. I guess it's on par with the first one. Wasn't bad. It was a little bit too long, but interesting idea. A lot of religious overtones with this one. What they're seeing and perceived angels and et cetera, and souls and afterlife. It was okay. It was fine. If you're a big fan of the Bird Box film, give this one a shot. It's pretty much on par, some cool death scenes. That's basically what you're watching it for, the suspense and whatever. It was okay. I like at least it did something different. It just wasn't a carbon copy of what we saw with Sandra Bullock's version. So I can appreciate that. But like most Netflix films, it's alright. It's alright. It's mediocre. Fine. But big fan, watch it. If you didn't see the first one, yeah, I'd probably skip this one. But again, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a terrible film by any stretch of imagination. It was just a mediocre one. The show is true. I know this one you watched, this one you're excited about, going back to Apple Plus, which is why Apple Plus 7th is egregious as far as I'm concerned. That is what it is. But it's the After Party, season 2. Of course, season 1 we liked a lot. Bringing Tiffany Haddish as one of the main characters anyway. Great cast in the original. Basically, it was a murder mystery. It's basically what it was, right? And then Tiffany Haddish is assigned, or at least initially, to solve the murder of this high-profile individual, an actor, or whatever the case is. I think it was Dave Franco. Was the
Yes,
Dave
Franco
was
was
a singer,
a
an
murder
actor, or
victim.
something. Yeah, he was a victim exactly at a party he was throwing, and a house party or whatever. And as Haddish investigating, interviewing all the people involved, the suspects, which pretty much everyone in the house at the time. They each were kind of recant, or they tell the story in a very, what's it called, a movie mind is what she calls it, where everybody kind of tells the story from their perspective, but told in a kind of either like a rom-com style film or a action film where the guy's just kind of like a diehard, kind of, so Tori told to that kind of lens, or like a detective noir, all that. So this one here, obviously, it's kind of the same as Tiffany Haddish. Is not a detective. She's trying to cash in her success and trying to write a book and all that, and she's called in by one of the characters from the first film, as there was a murder of a groom after a wedding, and like his girlfriend's sister, and here we go again, right? People telling the stories in their own way and all that. 2 episodes dropped. Chewy, your thoughts on After Party season 2?
So I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of the show. First season was great. First episode was very funny. And kind of lays out who the main players are. Right? We got John Cho, we got Kim Cheong, and I can't remember the name of the characters, but the episode 2 just didn't hit with me. That whole Victorian style.
Yeah, because they start with the bride, and she tells the story through a Victorian kind of a, not saying notebook, but a Pride and Prejudice kind of style.
Yeah. I just didn't care for that. I don't think that led to something funny, but I'll give that one a pass. Hopefully, some of the future episodes give us something a little more entertaining that's more palatable to me anyway. But no, it's a good it needs to be funny, and it's hitting on the comedy elements, just like with season 1.
I think this is a step down for me from season 1. Thus far, it's early. I'm just not laughing as much. I don't know. I don't, something about it's just not hitting for me. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a step down from the first one. I'm hoping it picks up. Yeah, the whole Pride and Prejudice thing didn't quite hit, I thought, the way it could have. Because it does. The characters are dressed like it and the scenery, but it still takes place in modern times. I thought that was kind of weird. Either kind of do a very meta style with cell phones with that or something. Base, or just go straight Victorian, right? Which they don't kind of do. So it was weird. It was fine. I don't know. It's early. I still like the show. I still recommend the show. Catch season 1 on Apple if you haven't. If you enjoyed, then go on to season 2. But again, it's only 2 in, so this probably will get better, and I hope it does get better. But not about. It's a good murder mystery. It's funny, entertaining. I like the first season a lot. I just hope that's why I think the expectations for this were higher than it probably should have been, and it's not meeting it right now. But it's early, so maybe we'll touch base at the end of the show. But it's a good watch. It's still funny. It's unique, and it's how it does an investigation, which I like, and I like Tiffany Haddish for the most part. Next one here, Full Circle, a limited series on HBO Max or Max whatever. This one dropping on Thursdays. I think dropped 2 episodes. Yeah, dropped 2 episodes. I think it's gonna be 6 total. This one here is actually directed by Steven Soderbergh. He's a renowned filmmaker, so he's legit. This one pretty much is I guess like a mystery thriller. We have this CCH Pounder, great cast. CCH Pounder, Dennis Quaid is in this one. Timothy Olyphant, who we're gonna see very soon. Claire Danes. This one here. So basically, CCH Pounder is, I guess, head of a crime family or something, whatever. in New
The
York,
Jamaican crime
Jamaica. Yeah.
family, I think.
And I guess her brother-in-law got killed in the beginning, and now she's trying to get retribution, and sets up a kidnapping of a well-off couple, their son. They haven't really hit the connection yet as to why they go after that. You figure they're going to go after another family or something, but I'm sure that's in the works. I'm sure that's some kind of connections to Song's family. Whatever, she decides to kidnap their kid, but then things don't go exactly. I won't spoil it. Things don't go exactly as planned. Clearly, as far as the kidnapping is concerned. But that's kind of what the first two episodes set up, and now they're trying to figure out what's what and all that. So, Chewy, your thoughts on the first two episodes of this one?
Um, so I guess what should attract me is like I'm trying to figure out what the connection is to all this, because like the main players are kept in the dark, and we're kept in the dark.
Yeah.
What her ultimate plan is? Why this approach is this circle,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you see it like in episode two, which he's got the picture of the brother-in-law, and I guess she's doing some voodoo. I don't know,
Yeah, whatever.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Santeria or something. Yeah.
yeah. Someone told her to do something, and she's kind of she knows all the pieces, but everyone is like asking questions. Why this? Why that?
Yeah.
Why call these guys? And so let's see. I'm still not sure what is going on. To be quite frank with you.
Yeah, like it's wicked. I know because I know that the parents, the couple, Claire Danes and Oliphant,
Mhm.
the father is like a famous chef or something or whatever
I believe so. Yes.
personality. So
Yes.
they have that. They have money, obviously, right? They're well off. I think they manage his career, but it seems like he has ties to a casino because he borrows money from people in the casino. So maybe that's the tie-in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's going on there. I'm okay with not knowing right now. I'm with you there. We don't know, but I'm hoping that's what the show's going to develop into. I liked what happened. That was interesting. It's like, okay, even after finding out what happened in the kidnapping, what went wrong, they still will compel the parents anyway to continue the process, right?
Yeah, because there was a
Right, for
reason
the right
for it,
reason. I like that.
which
Yeah, you could easily could have gone, well, I'm out.
yeah, they
Um,
could. Yeah, well, could have caught the cost at that point, but whatever.
right, but you know, what I'm saying? It's like so, it was look, it's what made. I like the cast. It's good. I don't know if it's gonna get better. It depends what the connect. And again, they gotta eventually let us know why the motivation here, right? And I think this next episode is crucial. But so far, it's good. It's well made. I'm
Yeah.
into it. I like the whole what happened with that with the situation, the kidnapping. Is like okay,
Mhm.
interesting. The stakes are there. It's just give us a little more why, right? We need to know at some point. We need to know why this
Mhm.
complete unrelated family is connected to whatever the crime, the
What the
Jamaican
original
crime,
crime was at
right,
the
right,
beginning,
and
yes.
what's going on. So let's see. But yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it to be honest with you. This is a recommend for me, not a high one, but it's a good recommend on HBO. As soon as you finish watching Warrior, then go try this show out. There's a caveat, let's just put the hierarchy where it deserves to be. But it's a good show. I definitely enjoyed this one for HBO, and I think it's 6 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's six
Okay,
episodes.
so that's good. So this doesn't have to be any longer than that. Next one, real quick on this one, Burn the House Down. This was a Japanese show on
Oh, I
Netflix
don't know.
about it's a come-up show, revenge movie, which Koreans usually do a very good job in the South Korean productions. Japanese haven't experienced too much with that. But basically, we have a woman who's seeking revenge. Who when she was younger, her mom, I guess, took blame for the tragic burning of a house down. Whatever the case, I guess people died. Whatever. So years later, she pretends to be a housemaid to get hired by the person who she's seeking revenge against, to get the comeuppance for whatever reason. So I almost saw a full episode of this one, and
Almost.
I'm out on this one. It's just it was dull, and had too much melodrama, and the music was very off. It just wasn't well done, and it was very disinteresting and bored. At the end of the day, I didn't even get to the comeuppance part. And I like some good comeuppance as much as this guy. Just didn't deliver. So this is a huge negative and disappointment, I guess, and all that. So definitely skip this if you're even thinking about it. Let's get to the Apple Plus. This is a big Apple Plus, man. God, Jesus. Foundation dropping
Yeah, now we're talking.
season 2, finally dropping. We liked it. I know you liked probably more than I did. I really, really enjoyed Foundation, but I know I think, familiar with the source material.
No,
On this,
actually, I never. Well,
well,
I
I'm not
know
sure
who
if you.
wrote it. I just never.
Okay.
I never read. I
Oh, fair
never
enough.
read the books.
Okay. Okay.
This is. I mean, these were written in the 50s, I
Oh, I
think. So
don't.
a
Yeah,
long.
I knew there was
Yeah, this is.
a
Yeah,
book, so
Isaac
whatever.
Asimov said a novel written a long time ago.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
Yeah, this one
yeah.
here, yeah, I only dropped one episode, which surprised me.
No, I'm not surprised. I mean,
I'm
because
not.
season one had enough.
Listen,
there that
oh
okay, all
no,
you need is one.
no. Listen, this is a pure. This is a sci-fi show. It takes place God knows when, and humanity's all throughout the galaxy, right? And
This obviously this thousands of years way out
right,
there.
right, way out. We're talking about who knows, right? Thousands, whatever it is obviously we've progressed beyond our imagination. We, different galaxies, the worlds, whatever. Everything's kind of being held together by the Empire, right? And that sounds like Star Warsy, but it's not anything to do with Star Wars. Because the Empire, of course, but now a scientist has predicted, I guess, the end of humanity.
Mathematician,
The mathematician, I'm
mathematician.
sorry. Predict the end of humanity, and he's trying to get a group together to kind of counteract that from happening, which goes against the Empire, so they're going after them. Am I kind of saying this right? I know it's a very dense
So,
story. It's a
well,
lot to it. I don't want to
if you're
oversimplify things.
recapping, excuse me, season one, probably before. But if you've seen season one, it's really not really what his ultimate motivation
Correct,
is.
right. I mean, just giving the basic initial premise of what the show is, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
trying. He's trying to. He has predicted the downfall of the empire, and he's trying to lessen the blow.
Mhm.
And when he says downfall, we're talking about tens of thousands of years of the species trying to recover to where it is, and so he's trying to prevent that
Mhm.
because that was most empires, and you can go back to history that there's beginning, there's expansion, there's its peak, and then there's a gradual, and all of a sudden its own destruction for whatever reason. And you see it happen in history across many empires,
Mhm.
the Greeks, the Romans,
Of course, yeah.
uh,
They all come down.
you know,
They
yes,
all
yeah,
come down.
yes.
Yeah.
Eventually something they come from within. So he's obviously his model has predicted this and has laid out a plan, right? A grand plan
Mhm.
to try to lessen the blow and to help humanity out in some way. But at the end of season one, you find out that his motives are not as benign as that. He's
Correct. Yeah.
actually trying to bring down spoilers. He's trying to bring down the empire itself because he doesn't see it as beneficial for humanity, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, and then obviously the plan is developing throughout season one. Season two, I'll be the focus of that. Yeah, listen, this one I like the first season. This is a very dense show. It's not for everybody, right? If you're a pure diehard sci-fi nut, this is definitely a must-watch, right? Production is phenomenal, and Apple Plus is spared no expense because it's a lot of CGI, all these worlds they're building and all that, spaceships,
A
etc.
lot of space porn, and
Right.
it's amazing.
Yeah, so and it's incredibly well done. I think I started off kind of slow for me. Again, it's so much going on, right? And it's got to set the table, and it's a lot to set.
Mhm.
So I gave it a pass because I knew that, right? You can tell. But towards the end of the season, things will coming together. Like, oh, okay, this is more now. I'm seeing a bigger picture, right? What's going on? These pieces coming together. Really enjoyed the show. Season two, again, one episode, really good. Bringing us back. I have to see the recap. I don't know you were rewatching. I didn't never get a chance to rewatch it. I wish I would because there's so much stuff. I'm like, what? Okay. Oh yeah, and just trying to by memory. Oh yeah, this guy, and I kind of either way because it's a lot. Great start, because obviously there's a time jump, right? About it.
I mean,
At the end of
even
season
in the
one,
first
we get a
season,
time jump.
and then the
Yeah,
first season,
yeah.
there starts at let's say it starts at zero, right? And of course, first few episodes it goes forward about 17 years, and then it jumps another 19 years ahead of that. So from the beginning, but we also get a couple of flashbacks. Once where they go back to the first Cleon, the first Empire, so 400 years prior. So this all really starts 400 years in the
No,
past
fair. Yeah.
with the first iteration or the original Cleon, the Emperor Cleon, and his plan to continue the dynasty via cloning, right? But obviously, this is this empire has been around for like 10 to 12,000 years, so there's a lot been going on to get to this point and the technology and whatnot
Right.
and how it is today. This one jumps because the end of season one does a big 138-year jump right at
Yeah.
the SO. If I remember, that's how it ended, right? Where
Yeah.
the you know
Yeah. Two of the main characters kind of
yeah,
converge in a
Salvo
different time.
and her mom, yeah, they went to cryo sleep, right? She was somewhere place she had to go to car seat to get to her back to home planet. Went looking for her, and we end up 138 years beyond that where we left off at the end of season one. And so this is where we start off now. So now it's 170 years beyond. And so the time element is a character in this show, which makes it
Yes.
interesting because you got to kind of follow through, right? Right. So you're gonna see a lot of new faces, a lot of different things because it's everyone's If you're not Christ, you're dead.
Yeah.
except for Brother Day, Dawn of Dusk, because they
Yeah.
are just continuing that cloning line, right? I'm maintaining the integrity of the empire, right? That was their grand plan. And so this is taking us now way into the future. We have three or four of the characters still around, right? Because they were asleep, and obviously the Richard Harris character, I can't remember his name. Yeah, whatever. He's still around, but he's not a person. He's more of a digital replica.
Yeah. Digital
I don't
consciousness.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital
Sure.
consciousness, not that who it is. But he's still integral to the story.
Hmm.
But no, they started out with a great action scene, great fight scene.
Yeah.
Lee
Yeah.
Pace working out, good for him.
Well, I heard this is gonna be a lot more. This is a lot more actiony in there, a lot more fast paced than the first. Again, the first one has
Okay,
so much to put on his shoulders, and I get it. Right now was one of my issues with the
a
show.
lot to
Right.
set up because
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
big,
It's a
big
lot.
show.
It's a
Yes.
big story, and it's a lot. So I get it, and I guess I gave it a pass because I knew that's what's happening, right? And as long as you know
Mhm.
they're building towards something, I'm okay with. I can tolerate it for a while, but at some point you gotta okay, let's go, and it did that to its credit.
Yes.
Yeah, this one's. I heard the season really just does more of that, which is nice.
Mhm.
But listen, it looks great. Good episode, great setup. Bringing us back. I'm excited. This is sci-fi must watch, no doubt, on Apple Plus. I'm not sure the show's on the radar now. I assume the show's doing well. I don't know, to be honest with you.
From what I hear, it's doing really well. It's very. I
Well,
mean, like I
I would
said,
assume it is.
critical acclaim,
Yeah,
but by far from the 9 to 10 area
yeah.
from a
No,
critical
again,
perspective. And
yeah,
honestly,
as I'm saying, for a sci-fi, if you like, traditional sci-fi, not like, we're not space adventure, Star Wars, which I love, but not like that, right? This is a true science fiction kind of show, right? More in the vein of Expanse than anything else,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
Because something you think space show, you think action and fights, and it has that, of course, like Expanse did, but the base is really just focusing on the story and the time, the technology, what's going on. That's what this show does as well. Cool, great show. It's a really great show, man. I wish it was more than one episode. I was about to complain. They only gave us one. Where's my second? I'm like, yo, what is this? Because historically speaking, they usually Ted Lasso's a different entity, but most shows come out 1 or 2 episodes. I mean, I don't know. For the most part, I guess on Apple,
Yeah,
even on Apple, for the most
you
part, or three or whatever. That's
unless you're great, you only get one.
apparently, yeah,
I'm sorry.
apparently, yeah. So, which I guess that will prove, even for myself, what the numbers are for the show. They've done well. That they only release one episode because they know they want to hook you on for 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. I'm not sure how many episodes there are, Chewy. Um,
I think it's ten
the first one
weeks.
was 10. I don't know.
Yes.
But that being said, so yeah, this one definitely checking Apple. Apple Plus is the big winner this week for sure. A lot of good stuff. And Apple Plus, I think it's slowing down for Apple Plus. I think for a little bit, which is a good thing.
That's good. That's slowing down for everyone.
Well, it was going to slow down, no doubt, in about 2 or 3 months. But what's in the can is in the can. We're gonna get all that unless they decide to kind of, release it. We're
Spread
spread
it
it out
out.
because they
Yeah.
know, production stopped everywhere. So who knows what's going on with any of these shows? So expect delays. That's for sure. How long it lasts, whatever. We'll find out later. But that being said, we'll focus on next week. Not a lot next week. Next week is a catch-up week. Go catch up on Foundations or Silos, of course, another great sci-fi show on Apple Plus. Warrior. The of course, shows that go catch up on shows like that. The Witcher, obviously, its second season coming up in a couple weeks. Second part of there's I say final season because
Did you finally go back
no,
and
yeah,
watch?
I finished it. It was good.
Finally.
I didn't
Okay.
love it. That third season, to be honest with you, I don't know what it was. I'm hoping the second season kind of gives me a little bit more. I liked the last episode. That was a cool episode.
That
That was
was
a
a
cool
great
episode. That was
episode.
the best episode of the season. So I'm thinking, okay, let's ride that momentum through. But it took a little bit to get to that. So I liked it.
Mm.
I'm hoping I love it by the end. I've been a big fan of the show. I have confidence they're going to end well. Because this is the last season. I don't give a fuck. If Henry Cavill leaves, this show's over as far as I'm concerned. That's just how it goes. So this is the last season, in terms of that. I'll watch the next one with one of the Hemsworth brothers. But come on. So let's start next week with interesting here. We got on FX Hulu on the 18th, 19th on Hulu, I guess. Justified, City Primeval, if I'm saying that right. This one here, of course, is based off, of course, if you guys remember, Justified, back on FX years ago.
Railing
Yeah, really
Givens.
good show. Timothy Oliphant playing this kind of U.S. Marshal who was sent to Kentucky and all that. You got Walter Goggins, who was great on the show, coming after Shield at the time. He was awesome. Really good show, right? I like Oliphant's character. Thought he was great. Had a way with words, But this one here takes place, I think, 14 years, I guess, in that timeline from the original show. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to Detroit now, and the mystery
Yeah.
comes up. Brock Holbrook, or Brooke Holbrook, whatever his name is, I forget. He's the villain here. Cool show. This is one I'm looking forward to. I know, Chu, you've been a fan of Justified. You were a fan of Justified when it was out.
Oh yeah, man, it was a
Yeah,
great show, man. It was one of my favorite shows on
yeah,
FX
really good.
when it was
Underrated
out.
show.
It was
Underrated show. I'm curious to see if
yes.
this one can be watched without being familiar with the original series, and I'll let you guys know. I'll talk about that next week. Because again, I'd like to recommend this show, but to watch 6 seasons is a lot.
Well, we'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
I am doing a show next week. It's gonna be a very short show because there's only a few things, as you're gonna know. So,
Oh, you're the
but we'll come
worst.
back and I'll get you to talk about some of these shows if it's worthy. If I say the show suck, we're not gonna go back. If some of these like Justified, I'll probably will when I get you taken Justified anyway, because I know you're a fan of the
Mm-hmm.
show. Minx season 2 on Stars. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even have Stars, so what are
Ah,
you gonna
sucks.
do? But whatever.
I'll
So probably won't
watch.
be talking about that. But that's for you got Stars, and because this show originated on Max, it was dropped from them. They picked it up. Funny show, really good comedy. If you got Stars, go back and watch this first. Easy watch, 10 episodes, 30 minutes a pop. Very funny show. It takes place in the 70s. 70s.
70.
A woman who is struggling, she wants to be a serious journalist, ends up writing for this a magazine of questionable moral value, like a hustler, Playboy kind of, more like Hustler Time magazine, whatever the case is. Very funny show. I like that one a lot. Cool. Netflix, we got a movie, They Cloned Tyrone. This one, John Boyega. We got Jamie Foxx in here. It's a couple of big
Mm-hmm.
names. Takes place in the 70s, and I guess there some mystery and then covering some conspiracy. I heard it's kind of an off the wall kind of story. On Netflix,
Okay.
it looks interesting. I want to see that. And lastly, we got Operativo Linus on
Oh,
Paramount Plus. Believe
Operation
Operation Linus,
Linus.
right? I think this one's I forgot who started. Morgan Freeman's in this one. There we go.
That's what we talked about
Yeah,
today.
Morgan Freeman. I thought it was
Well, Morgan Freeman and not Zendaya. Sorry. Um. Well, it's got.
Zoe Saldana. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, of
Zoe
course.
Saldana
Guardians of the Galaxy
is
and
the
all that.
main
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the show's about, but it's a kind of spy thriller. Am I into that one?
Yeah, it's another title Sheridan production. So I have high hopes. This is a CIA type espionage thriller show.
Yeah. Actually, this comes out. It comes out next Sunday, the 23rd. So
Oh, 23rd or 7th?
yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay,
probably
no.
won't get a chance if cause I think Paramount drops the same day, right? Um,
Yeah, the
Actually, what I might do,
Sunday
because
morning
one
is when it
episode I
drops.
might watch before I do a show, just to talk about the show. And if it's really
Hmm.
good, I can give Chewy a chance to talk about it again. But that's it, right? Not a lot next week, so I'll probably talk about these because the week after that is a big week. A lot of releases coming out, so I'll let you know what those are. That's a big week. This is your catch up week to go back and see some stuff. Chewy won't be us next week. He'll be at Comic Con enjoying nothing at Comic Con, the nice San Diego weather, and I don't know. That's basically all there is in Comic Con this year. So
Yeah, which is sad. Well, I mean, obviously,
whatever.
circumstances, whatever. A lot of signings have been
Of
canceled.
course.
I'm not sure if the actors are actually going to show up. There is going to be a fair amount of actors signing their stuff, right? Because it's not promotional. So, like, I like
Oh, I'm
the
sure
Funko
someone. Yeah.
Zone has a $7 pop where they have like a bunch of people come in and signed up Funkos, like the creator of Fairly Odd Parents. We had Rudy, what's his name? Um, from the guy from Goonies and
Oh,
Rudy, Sean
Sean Astin, yeah,
Astin,
from
yeah,
Samwise from Lord of the Rings. Mhm.
yes, again, yes, he assigned his Funkos. Ashley, the voice of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars, she's very popular out there. So like I said, they got some people coming in. But as far as panels, they've turned them into come watch screenings of the show. I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. That's the one that we're going to see, the Invincible one, is just going to be Robert Kirkman because directors are allowed to be
Yes.
there; they got their contract, and the moderator. All the voice actors,
No
no
be
one's going to
found.
be, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate, right? Because that had a stellar cast:
It did.
Walter
You're right.
Goggins, I mean, it's just so many people in that show. None of them are going to be there. I'm like, that sucks. But
Yeah, it's a
whatever.
really bad time for that. But whatever. I'm sure we'll be back in a couple weeks. I still will do a show, very small version, because again, there's only 2 or 3 things that we talk about. But I do want to set up the following week. It's a big week too. We'll be back for that one. A lot of good stuff coming
Hmm.
out in a couple of weeks. I'll say good stuff. A lot of stuff coming out,
Yeah.
potentially good. Whatever, we'll see. But that being said, I will sign off for now. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, etc., etc. We'll see you guys. Well, I'll see you guys next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. You can let us know all the good stuff that happened at Comic Con. So we'll spend about 10 seconds with that. We'll see you guys next week.